ጤና ይስጥልኝ ኢትዮጵያውያን ወዳጆቼ ዛሬ ስቴት ኦፍ አርት ኢን ኢትዮጵያ የሚል አንድ ቪዲዮ በአሜሪካ ላይብራሪ ኦፍ ኮንግረስ የአሜሪካ የኮንግረስ ላይብራሪ ውስጥ ሪከርድ ተደርጎ የተቀመጠ ቪዲዮ አየሁኝ። ይሄ ቪዲዮ በአጋጣሚ ነው ያየሁት። ስለ ታዋቂው ሰዓሊ አፈወርቅ ተክሌ ንግግር ነው የሚያደርገውና ይሄ ቪዲዮ የምትችሉ ሁሉ ብታዩት እጅግ አሪፍ ቪዲዮ እንደሆነ ምስክርነት መስጠት እፈልጋለሁ። ምክንያቱም በጣም ብዙ የምንማረው ነገር አለ ከዚህ ቪዲዮ። ስለ አርት ብቻ አይደለም ይነግረን፣ ስለ ሙያ መስዋዕትነት ይነግረናል፣ ስለ ሀገር ፍቅር ይነግረናል። እንደዚሁም ደግሞ በተለይ የሀገር መሪዎች በቅርብ ባሉ ሰዎች ራሱ ምን ያህል እንደሚሳሳቱ ይነግረናል። ስለ ነፃነት ይነግረናል። እና እስቲ እንደው ትንሽ አብረን እንይ 1-3-4 ደቂቃዎችን እና በመሃል ደግሞ ባጭሩ ለመተርጎም እሞክራለሁ።
should be Africa then with the slavery, with the devil dancing, with the gloomy color of black and red. And then the second part, Africa now, Africa then and now, when Africa begins to look with the map of Africa. Some of the Africans that are already free, they are looking straight at you in the stained glass window. But the others who are still in the colonies, they are hiding themselves. And then this big devilish bird is flying away, symbol of colonialism. And the African is throwing them out. And then the central, these two windows are covered with a chain, unbroken chain. In the central part, it is surrounded, and the chain is replaced by those countries which were already free. Around it, you see the different flags. And in the center, you have this Ethiopian and his wife, who is pregnant, and a little child, holding the torch of the rising sun, of the new dawn, of the new day. And behind him are the different African nations which are already free in their national costumes. And then you have one, a knight in armor with the United Nations flag on his chest, which represents that all those who are becoming free and independent have the right to enter the United Nations. And then finally, all these things came from about 30 countries. They were shown, and mine was declared a winner by of the 17 judges by the 14 judges, including this work from Perugia, which he has already done, this artist. And then, you can imagine what happened to me. I was very happy. And then we were called in front of the emperor, and I was declared the winner. It had fulfilled all the qualifications of a stained glass art. Now, the second problem, unexpected problem, was people, ministers, who thought I was already this little boy who is so arrogant and so much taken notice of without any kind of appointment in the government, was having this name and this kind of thing already beginning. So they went and told the emperor, you see, this boy should know who is ruling Ethiopia. Instead, he has put in the center the ordinary Ethiopian family. The man you see there, the woman you see there, and the little boy, they are not the image, the imperial image of the imperial family. So they suggested to him that the face of the central man should be the portrait of the emperor, and the wife should be the empress, and the little boy, the Duke of Harar. Now, as an artist, you can imagine. That only will exist as long as the emperor is king. But the day he is removed, and revolutions are everywhere, that painting, that stained glass window was gone. So I was called to change this into that image. Not by the emperor, by his Minister of Interior. I said, oh my God, how I have forgotten to put the emperor there. I will do it. I will be very happy to do it. So give me time. I knew that the whole thing to see, you have to have the whole image in stained glass window. And the head only of this peasant man was already 1 square meter. Until I have finished the work in stained glass window, nobody will see it. Who is who in that painting? So I continued my work in Ethiopia. Then I came to the south of France. I did it in Saint-Etienne, where I was an apprentice for a while in my educational days. And then when it was finished, almost finished, the emperor visits South America. And there was a coup in Ethiopia. And then all the French press, when I started this work, were talking about it. They said, no, the emperor is gone. What are you going to do with your portrait, with your stained glass window? I said, I will continue my work. Politics, I am a juvenile delinquent in politics. I know nothing about politics. So I will continue my work. Continued. The emperor came back. He shot, he hung some of these people. And then when I went back with my stained glass window, I said, I want the whole place closed and the policeman to be there because this Italian may destroy it because his work was not there. So immediately, presto, there was a police. Nobody, I said, nobody, including the Minister of Public Works. And then just before the opening day, which was in 15 days' time, nobody came to that place. And then on the day, just 3 days before that the ECA was going to open, the emperor came in the afternoon, and that was the day when the dignitaries, everybody entered, and I explained to the emperor, this was this, that was that, and my hands were already a little bit butchered by the glass. And then he listened so quietly. I explained to him, you know, what it means, this, that, and as the light moves behind from morning to evening, it was like the symphonic music of Beethoven Symphony No. 9 with the chorus. This stained glass was talking. After I finished, he said, may God bless your hand. He said, this is priceless, he said. Because mind you, I was not paid. I just asked the emperor to pay only for the raw glass. But the payment will be done afterwards. But apparently I didn't know it worked negatively when I didn't change the face of the emperor to the peasant. Anyway, he said that we will never be able to pay for this. He said, may God bless your hand. He left. Believe it or not, to make a long story short, for 2 years I was not paid. And after 2 years, I dare not say this to a foreign press because I want to live in Ethiopia and to work there. And then Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana invited me. He was so impressed by this window. He said, we want you to do something for our parliament. So I said, you must ask permission from the emperor. The emperor was asked. Then he sent somebody to me and said, haven't you got enough work in Ethiopia that you are going to serve another country? I said, no, but I have not been paid for my work that I have done. And then I said, I have to go to a country where I will be paid. So they set up a committee immediately, and At that time, they said, I was government educated. I had the privilege no other Ethiopians except few have. Therefore, it is expected of me a free contribution to this thing. But I said, you were going to pay the Italian. And they said, well, you better keep quiet if you want to work in Ethiopia. Otherwise, make your exit to Paris or London, wherever you want to go. Anyway, thank God, I have the ability to share this with you. I'm going to share with you what I felt at that time. If you have toiled so far with a stained glass window cutting your fingers, and then when the hole was opened successfully with all the leaders of Africa at that time, including Senghor, Kwame Nkrumah, and the one of Kenya, and so forth and so on, I can't complain to anyone. But the work began to be very famous. Within those couple of years, everybody talked about the Africa Hole stained glass window. Every tourist that came had the ability to see it. It was not like today in America after this bombardment of the towers. We had that reflection also in that organization. They restricted tourists and so forth and so on. So my name was built by this. And after this, I did 6 more important stained glass windows. And one of them, the latest, where I won about a year and a half ago, the Da Vinci Diamond in Europe. And of course, you will see in most of my works that I felt I would take this time to just give you a glimpse of one artist. Now, and just briefly I want to tell you, in Ethiopia today, we have many artists, foreign educated, who live in a foreign land, and thank God, they work freely. Nobody is oppressing them. That makes me feel so happy. And when our second millennium came, the celebration came, there was a great opportunity of winning a lot of works for me. I said, no, I will not compete. I will give the opportunity to the other younger painters who, unfortunately, or fortunately, didn't have to go through the horrifying experiences, the anxieties I have had. Let them create freely. Then I said, at the end of the millennium, I shall present 3 works of mine on which I have been working for a year, which can be used as a public monument in the capital city, in the provinces. Also, not only for Ethiopia, but for Africa, because all Africans said it is also our millennium. So I also have designed a terrific stained glass window, which can be made into a tapestry, which can be made into a public monument, which can be done in a stained glass window. And I said, by the end of the millennium, I shall present mine, which unfortunately you have not seen it anywhere, but in a couple of months you will be able to see. And so the future of art is not so much of a different struggle that I have.
Your question. So if there are any questions. Yes.
It is not a difficult question to answer because I have lived through it. But it may be a very difficult thing for the other artists to follow. In art, you have to have a total commitment. No other roles. You have to feel convinced that you have a message, not only for one generation, but for many generations to come. To reach that position, as I have said, you have to study and study. And those who live in America, you have this fantastic library. You have the British Museum. You have the Vatican Library. Many galleries, many museums. Then you have the strength if you want to live in Ethiopia and create, there are so many obstacles, have been many obstacles. During the Emperor's time, during the Derg time, and there are also difficulties in our time. First, you have to commit yourself not to be a money worshipper. Have enough. But the mission is so powerful, especially if you are born an Ethiopian. We have a stock of heritage. You have to fight the other battles and bring it to the world, and bring it not just a little Ethiopia, but make it part of the world, for the world to appreciate it. Okay, buying, I don't blame Ethiopians for not buying. They have difficulty of their, we are now beginning to be known as the poorest country in Africa, despite all the efforts we are making. But that shouldn't touch artists. Artists are with great feelings. For example, when the Derg came and they killed 60 of our leaders, it was a shocking moment. And the French ambassador, the British ambassador, and the Russian ambassador, at different times they came to me. And they said, look, we will organize an exhibition for you. Take your best works, and we will make you fly in within a week. But I said, why? I said, these people are not choosing people. They will come, your turn will come. I said, what is it to you? He said, you Ethiopians always think that ambassadors and so forth and so on only are interested in political things. He said, it's our interest to save chaps like you. You are a world citizen. Then he said, you come to Paris, you stay. When the thing is calmed down, you will go back to your country. But I said, I can't. I can't fight with my conscience. I have not ruled a country. I was never a minister. I was never an ambassador. For me, as a great inheritor of the Ethiopian heroic people, how many have died in the Battle of Adwa? Before Ethiopia won, they thought this was the end of the day. So they went in, fought until they died. I am an inheritor, a little drop of that blood is within me. I cannot leave Ethiopia at this moment. When am I going to stay in Ethiopia when it is only happy times?
ይሄ ታሪክ እንግዲህ ወዳጆቼ እኔ እያንዳንዳችሁ ይሄንን ቪዲዮ አደራ እላችኋለሁ ባካችሁ ሙሉውን እዩት ሙሉውን እንድታዩት ፈልጋለሁ ባጭሩ አፈወርቅ በጣም ታዋቂው አርቲስት አፈወርቅ ተክሌ እየነገረን ያለው አንድ ባለሙያ ለሙያው ሲል ለሀገሩ ሲል ሊያልፍበት የሚገባውን መስዋዕትነት እየነገረን ያለው ጊዜው መቼውንም ሊሆን ይችላል እሱ በንጉሱ ዘመን የኖረ ከጃንሆይ ጋር በአካል ለመገናኘት የቻለ ብዙ ነገሮችን ያየ በስራው እንኳን ሰርቶ ራሱ ያልተከፈለው የሰራውን ስዕል እንኳን በሰዓቱ የነበሩት ሚኒስትሮች ጃንሆይን አታል እንትን ብለው ሸውደው ማታለል ማለት ይቻላል እንዴት ያንተ የእርሶን ቤተሰብና የእርሶን ፎቶ አያደርግም እንዴት የተራ ኢትዮጵያዊ የአንድ የደሃ ቤተሰብ ፎቶ ይሆናል በሚል እኔ ይሄን ሁሉ ስዕሩን ሁሉ እንዲቀየር ግን ሳይከፍሉት ከሀገር እንዲወጣ የሚገፋፋው ነገር ብዙ ነገር ነበር ማለት ነው የፖለቲካውም ችግር እንዳለው ነው እና እየነገረን ያለው ምንድነው ለሀገርና ለሙያ የሚከፈለውን መስዋዕትነት ነው እንደው ብታዩት በጣም ደስ ይለኛል ከዚህ በላይ እንትላለ ቪዲዮ ስልኬ ቦታ የለውምና ከዚህ በላይ ሪከርድ ማድረግ አልችልም ግን ይሄንን ቢቻል በተረጉመው ወይም አንድ ሰው ተርጉመው ሁሉም ኢትዮጵያዊ ቢያየው ደስ ይለኛል ያው ከእያንዳንዱ ሰው የምንማረው ነገር ስላለ ነው ከታሪክ የምንማረው በጣም ብዙ ነገር ስላለ ነው በጣም ብዙ የምንማረው ነገር አለ ሰው ለሙያው መስዋዕትነት መክፈል አለበት ለሀገሩ መስዋዕትነት መክፈል አለበት ችግርን ለማለፍ መስዋዕትነት መክፈል አለበት
Am I going to stay in Ethiopia when everything is fine? I am an artist. A politician may have to do that, or something may have to do that. But as an artist, I am trying to learn how the real Ethiopians are. And this is a moment for me to gather knowledge. What does the Ethiopian do when he is in distress? What is he going to do with the idea of fear? I am now 36, I said to the Frenchman particularly, who was very articulate. I am now 36. I have in more than 60 countries, though in private collections, my work. It means that I have done most of my work for my age. But I said, if you take a painter like Raphael, who lived more than 400 years ago, in company of Da Vinci and Michelangelo, he died and
እንግዲህ በዚሁ ዘጋለው ቪዲዮውን እግዚአብሔር ሰዓሊ አፈወርቅ ተክሌን ነፍሱን በገነት ያኑር። ሌሎቹንም ኢትዮጵያውያን በተለያየ መንገድ በተፈጥሮም ይሁን በሰው ሰራሽ ምክንያቶች ህይወታቸውን ላጡ በሙሉ እግዚአብሔር ነፍሳቸውን በገነት ያኑር። ሀገራችንን ሰላም ያርግልን እና እርስ በርስ እንዋደድ። አንዳችን ለሌላው ድጋፍ እንሆን እንጂ እንቅፋት እንዳንሆን አንዳችን ለሌላው በማለት ቪዲዮውን ዘጋለሁኝ። እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልኝ። በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ፍቃዱ ረታ ነኝ ከሐዋሳ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ግብርና ኮሌጅ ሐዋሳ።